Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. In this episode, we're going to be diving into the bottom of the car, wire wheeling, cleaning, as well as getting at some of the undercoat that was chipping away in the wheel wells. We're going to start, prep, respray, get ready for respray of undercoat and removal of the suspension and what the parts look like also, as well as some backstory to the car. People wanted to know exactly the story. I got a general idea. Apparently the original owner of the car had turboed and nitrous the car. Thank you, Fast and Furious. Which was a recipe for disaster. The car blew up. The owner claimed it was poorly built. The shop said that he had prematurely abused the car before break-in. A finger-pointing battle ensued, which resulted in the car staying at the shop and the shop owner trying to put a lien on the car. The then original owner of the car broke into the shop, broke the passenger window, took his Sparco seats out. So the car came with no front seats, as well as his stereo, the deck, and various other audio equipment that he had in the car. Then the car ultimately ended up sitting at his mother's house with the window broken forever. A mutual friend of ours, his boss was towing the car, was the guy who got called to tow the car out. He called our friend called my best friend Dan. Dan went to go see the car and immediately saw the 97 taillights and said, "This is one of 320 in the world." The original odometer read 33,000 miles. He had to pick it up, and we started slowly chipping away at this progress. So, enjoy. Okay, so here we have the car on the original date it was picked up or purchased. This is it on the trailer getting towed home. The original clock, as you can see, there's quite a bit of dust. It did read 33. The mold on the car was it was disgusting. It immediately all had to get torn out. The bottom of the car, same thing, was sitting on leaves. There was junk. The radiator was in the back. There was just leaves in every orifice, as well as, various electrical switches for, all types of circa 1999 performance equipment. Like I said, there was a nitrous system, solenoids in the car, all attached into the fuel system, which all had to be removed. Wires everywhere, low jack, alarms. Anyway, back to our progress. At this point, we were cleaning and prepping for the body shop to repaint the engine bay. The original Champ White, they did a great job. This is it at the body shop. And the final product. After we got the car back, we had already started putting some stuff back into the interior, and it was now time to address the bottom of the car. We started removing everything: suspension, brake lines, fuel lines. It was a complete mess. The chipping away of the undercoat was pretty bad. So we just decided to go ahead and clean and wire wheel the entire bottom of the car once we got every single bolt and part removed. This is the progress as we were cleaning before the wire wheeling, and right into wire wheeling. Every speck of any speckle of rust had to be taken off before we could repaint the bottom of the car. And this is my partner in crime on almost all projects. When we first started this build, we made a pact to get together every Wednesday after work to drink whiskey and work on the car, which resulted in a thing we call Whiskey Wednesday. He's a great helper, as you can see, and loves doing burnouts in closed, tight garage spaces where we still have to breathe. Anyway, Whiskey Wednesdays become a ritual, as well as burnouts. Back to the progress. We got all the suspension out and ready for powder coat. We found a great powder coat shop that had a great semi-gloss that was going to match OEM, almost identical, pretty much identical. So the next step was to send that off to powder coat and continue chipping away at the wheel wells. This is pretty much what we had to do hour after hour, and we added disco lights because obviously we like to party. The wire wheeling was quite tedious, but you know, with some elbow grease and a bunch of wire wheels from Harbor Freight, we were able to get it pretty much down enough so that we can clean it, wipe it with alcohol, and respray undercoat on it, which would be the next step. While we were wire wheeling the wheel wells, we started to notice even more spots under the frame rails that had just, you know, little specks of rust in the seams. So we had to wire wheel even more than we thought, but it had to be perfect. So once we were able to get everything, we started taping up and getting ready to lay undercoat. All right, so that's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Next episode, tune in. We will be respraying the bottom of the car, as well as getting it into re-undercoating the wheel wells to try to match factory. The goal is to make it look exactly like it rolled off the assembly line. Also, we'll see if we can squeeze in the parts that we're going to powder coat. So like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.